Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video and it's titled Dr. Phil embarrasses the view on children being locked down during 2020. You guys, I'm excited for this, and if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Well, you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because we kept them out of the places that they could be sick, because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID.
Dr. Phil on here taking them to school. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section, and the discount code is right here. So check out the discount code. That will be linked in the description section as well. So get you some of this merch, man. Everybody loved the rematch shirt and also our answer shirt. I think it's over here. I think I got it right here. So it's called The Answer. Donald Trump crossing Joe Biden up. God dang, that shirt funny. Anyway, get the merch in the description. Like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, it's finally good to see The View getting that work they deserve. And it's funny how I don't know if Dr. Phil is paying to be on The View, right? Because that's a money opportunity for shows to have people pay to interview. Because he obviously have a new book out. When people got a lot of money, they can pay to get their ways onto different shows. Sometimes shows love to have certain people to promote their book, so it's not paid. It's just a mutual exchange of pleasantries, I guess you could say. However, they messed around and brought him on there and asked him the wrong question. And Dr. Phil started whooping him. And let me just tell you this. This is why The View is so ridiculous. The View is clearly not a balanced show, because the cast is all Democrats, liberals, and the dummies on the end, the one on the end over here claims she's a Republican. She ain't a Republican, and the Mexican ain't a Republican. They just saying that to try to act like the panel is balanced. All of these are leftists, liberals. They're all liberals, and they just they act like she a Republican. The Mexican act like she a Republican. This girl act like she a Catholic. Even though she push abortions and all kinds of gay marriage, all kind of stuff. So they do this little fake thing on there, and they ain't got no men on the show. That's too much common sense to be on that show. If they had one man, they wouldn't have a show. So just to put the panel in perspective, they have somebody that got a little bit of common sense and that's well respected. This is what happens. Roll the clip.
Like 08, 09, smartphones came on. And kids stopped living their lives and started watching people live their lives. And so we saw the biggest spike and the highest levels of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and suicidality since records have ever been kept. And it's just continued on and on and on. And then COVID hits 10 years later. And the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%. So
there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save
kids' lives. Remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this. So it wasn't, people weren't laying around eating bond, but, well, you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because we kept them out of the places that
Man, that man hit the truth bomb on top of hit the mark with the truth bomb, and they all started chiming in. You could hear them. They got to save face, and then Whoopi Goldturds is trying to come up with some concoction of fake fallacy reality, and she's falling completely short. It doesn't make any sense. He was right. Listen to it. It gets worse.
They could be sick because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Are you saying no?
No one.
You guys, what are your thoughts on this particular video? Do you think that Dr. Phil is right or the View host? Let me know in the comment section down below. I always love to watch the View hosts lose their cool when they don't agree with a particular person. Let's continue watching, you guys.
I wanted to believe we had an issue. Shut up.
No school children died of COVID?
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Phil?
Well, she can't dispute it because she ain't did no research.
I talked to the head of all the border guards down there, the head of the union. I asked him straight up, kids are coming over the border with numbers written on them, phone numbers and addresses. Do we check those out? He said, well, we call them. Is it possible that we're sending them into known prostitution rings or sweatshops? He said, it's not possible. It is absolute. We are using American tax dollars to ship children into known prostitution and sweatshops.
Some children.
Well, who knows?
Okay.
We don't know. I said, are you...
So what kind of checking do they do? So
They call the number and say, do you know about this child? They say, yes. Will you receive them when they come? Yes. I said, is it possible that that's a prostitution ring?
He's right.
He said, we know enough to know that in a number of cases, it has turned out to be absolute sex ring. It has turned out to be an absolute sweatshop. I said, how is this possible?
Well, what do they
and he
do
said,
then?
it is happening.
What do they do then if they know that that's happening? Where is the U.S. Attorney's Office? Here's the
good question.
You have to re-ask that question when we come back, because we're coming back with more.
They wasn't ready for this, man. They were not ready for this. And two things that he touched on that I think is incredible is the COVID thing. I think that it's very clear that people got it wrong. You could say they were acting in good faith. Fine. That's fine with me. They were acting in good faith, but they still got it wrong. You can't act like they were acting in good faith and nothing happened. No. Children had to sit home for 2 years and now they're stupid.
That's a lot.
They can't even read. They were behind already, and then they got further behind because they're sitting at home for what? And this is the thing that bothers me about leftists, all these women on the panel. This is what bothers me about them. It's because they try to take the social justice path, but they overlook the victimization of some of these actions towards young people. They victimize young people by making them sit at home because they became more suicidal. All of these different things, and the mandatory reporting thing. If your parents, listen, these kids get slapped in the head, abused, they go to school, and there's someone that can report that this child is being abused, whether it's sexual, whether it's just physical abuse, you name it. There can be a mandatory reporter that intercepts this kid. Now, the parent may be reluctant to abuse the kid because they know they got to send them to school, and they send them to school with whips all over their back. They're probably gonna go to jail. But when you send that kid home and there is no mandatory reporting, how many cases are these kids getting beat? How many? He said 60% of the cases dropped. It went down. The reporting went down. That didn't mean it stopped happening. It was just the kids were not in a position where somebody can defend them.
They were stuck
Same
at
thing
home.
is happening with kids coming over the border. Oh, poor people, they just looking for somewhere to stay. But what about all the people that get raped on the way over here? What about all the people that get taken advantage of, end up in sweatshops? What about the negatives? People don't even make it. They die on the road to come to America. But see, Dr. Phil is investigating and thinking of these things. Emotional women are not thinking about that. I'm not saying all women are emotional, but these women are definitely emotional. They're not thinking about that. Therefore, they're not seeing the forest for the trees, if that makes any sense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get you some of this merch. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
You guys, that was such an interesting one from Dr. Phil, and he said nothing but the truth. And I love what Officer Tatum added at the ending of this video. these kids were definitely stuck at home and they had no one to report to. And for those kids who were constantly abused at home, who find solace in going to school or spending time with their friends in school, and being forced to stay at home with those abusive parents must have done a very great harm. I guess that is why Dr. Phil said the trauma of being stuck at home for 2 years will alleviate the trauma of if the kids were exposed to COVID. Let me know what you guys think about this video. There's a whole lot to learn from what Dr. Phil is saying, but obviously the view hosts are not ready to listen. And leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed this video from the Officer Tatum. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, please give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.